A key point is that governments can't rejuvenate the economy or reduce the welfare bill without increasing the purchasing power of the bottom 50% of the population. Some 16 million people live below the poverty line, and their lack of purchasing power has turned many town centres into economic deserts. The Chancellor must improve their purchasing power, but this bill does not actually do that. It continues the Tory freeze of income tax personal allowances. Consequently, more people are trapped into real tax rises. In 2024-25, that is this year, 37.4 million individuals are paying income tax, compared to 30.6 million in 2010. This year, 8.5 million pensioners are paying income tax, compared to 5.69 million in 2010. The erosion of disposable income of poor households is compounded by continuation of the Tory two-child benefit cap and deepened by removal of winter fuel payment from pensioners below the poverty line. This bill misses the chance to reduce taxes on the poorest. This year, that is 2024, the richest fifth will pay 30% of gross household income in direct taxes, compared to 16% by the poorest fifth. The richest fifth will pay only 11% of their disposable income in indirect taxes, compared to the poorest fifth, who will pay 27%. Altogether, the poorest will pay a higher proportion of their income in taxes, and that is damaging society. Whatever happened to this thing called progressive taxation? The Chancellor could have abolished VAT on domestic fuel and cut the standard rate of VAT to help the poorest, but did not actually do that. To appease private equity, the government did not impose the promised 45% tax rate on the private equity managers and made late amendments to the bill. Who actually hears the cries of the less well-off? They too are crying for concessions. This bill does little to address tax inequities. Just a time for a couple of examples. The government is continuing with the anti-worker policies. Capital gains and dividends are taxed at lower rate than wages. Recipients of capital gains and dividends don't pay any national insurance, even though they used the social infrastructure. By aligning taxation of dividends and capital gains with wages, the government can raise billions. Some estimates suggest at least £15 billion a year. Can the Minister explain why labour is taxed at a higher rate than the return on investment of wealth? Accountants, lawyers and private equity managers operate through limited liability partnerships. This enables them to dodge national insurance contributions. Partners of LLPs derive most of their income from one source, but are actually treated as self-employed for national insurance purposes. They only pay Class 4 national insurance rates, but they avoid the employer's national insurance contributions. This perk alone saves the partners around £138,000 for every £1 million of profit shared. Partners of just 4 big law firms alone benefit by around £4 billion a year from this gift. Add to this profits shared by partners of other law, accountancy, architect, surveyor and other firms, and one can see that the government can simply collect billions by attacking this anomaly. So can the Minister explain why such anomalies have not been eradicated? Is it really fair that lower paid workers should pay national insurance, but some of the richest don't? Just to remind the Minister that it is easier to eradicate tax anomalies than punish the disabled with benefit cuts. The government must improve the economic well-being of the bottom 50% of the population, or there is a risk that it will only be a one-term government.